ever call a play and you say to yourself, I don't like it, and then you call your own play?
No. Whatever he calls, I have full faith and trust, and I run it. So, yeah.
Can you go back to training camp and remember, I mean, you didn't get many opportunities, obviously, probably about 10% of the team snaps. So how did you deal with that? Was it frustrating, and just how did you try to maximize the opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, at the time, obviously, Trey and Nate were taking the majority of the reps, and so I got a couple plays at the end of each period. But for me, it was, how can I, do the reps that I have to the best of my ability, do everything, the little things right. Nothing, I didn't make it more than what it was. I just kept it simple, went through my reads, and showed them that I can take care of the simple plays that they give me, throughout practice and stuff. So, but definitely wanted to, have the opportunity that I had to show them, that I can play. So that was just about building trust back then.
What do you remember from that college game against Oklahoma when you and Jalen went up against each other? Any memories that stand out from that game?
Yeah, it was a game, obviously there was a lot of points scored. It was almost like you had to score every single time you had the ball almost. Different situation and scenario than what we're about to go through, on Sunday. But, it was a fun college game. It was a great experience to go against, Jalen, and they had a great team, and he was making plays and stuff, and feel like we had to do the same to keep up and stay alive in that game as well. But, this is a different situation, different scenario going into Sunday.
Brock, you were sacked a couple times early, threw a bunch after that, never was sacked again. Was that just a matter of you realizing you might have to get the ball out sooner? Was there an adjustment in play calling, and how would you account for that? Yeah,
I would say it was a mix of both things. I think it was a reality for myself in terms of knowing, like, I can't hold on to the ball all day. I have to be in rhythm. I have to be in time within the play that's called, and help my O-line out by giving them confidence, by getting the ball out, allowing them to, get settled in the game early. And then also, Kyle called some plays after that to allow that set up, the pass game later so that the offensive line could get settled, that I could get settled. And then once we got into a rhythm, things were better in the second half. So.
The 2 point, the Oklahoma game. I had two questions here. The Oklahoma game, the 2 point conversion, that was a very tight window. Did you, for a moment think that was a completion and you guys had won the game? And then also that was, not the first time you experienced a road atmosphere like that, but that was a night game in Norman with 80,000 people. Does that collective experience kind of maybe make what you're about to face Sunday a little less overwhelming?
Yeah. I mean, to answer the first part, yeah, I thought it was a completion. Obviously, it sucked not getting the completion and the game being over, but yeah, that was that. In terms of the environment and everything, yeah, those kind of games definitely helped. I feel like with, just a lot being on the line, in the moment, focusing on what's in front of you, focusing on the defense, rather than getting caught up in, the crowd and all that kind of stuff. So I played in a couple of those games, in college. And I think that was just it's a great experience for me to go back to and remember, like, how I felt, what was going through my mind, how did it affect my decisions, things like that. So definitely feel like I've grown from it, and yeah, I'm glad I went through something like that.
You seem to be less comfortable going left now, more games under your belt, Brock. Is that something you want to change? Would you like to go more right? What are you seeing from yourself on those situations?
Yeah, honestly, I hope I don't have to scramble, so that's not something, I have in my mind. But, I mean, it is part of the game. I just feel like how the pocket has collapsed, that's just an area I feel like I've gone to. But, it's not something that I'm going like, man, I got to stop going left, or I need to go more right. It's part of the game. It's a natural feel, I feel like, in the moment. So it's not something that I'm, practicing or anything like that. So.
Do you think that the Cowboys were the best defense you faced to date? And if so, how do you think that's kind of prepared you for your opponent on Sunday?
Yeah, I do. I think they, had a great front. I thought their secondary was really, talented and skilled. So all around, I think their scheme was really good too. So I do think it was one of the best defenses that I've seen, that our team has seen this year. And obviously, this week's going to be a great challenge with the front that, Philadelphia has. So I thought it was a good game to have and, to work through and learn from, for this week's matchup.
Kyle said that you, before the Seattle game,
work silent count that week, and he even then was thinking like, this could be good because we may play Philly in the NFC Championship game. Did he mention that to you at the time? And what is the key to, being good at working silent?
Yeah, when we played Seattle that week and everything, he did say it was good preparation for what we were or what we might have to play in terms of the playoffs. Going on the road for road games and obviously for Philadelphia, and it's just everything. In these kind of games is all about communication. How can you operate smoothly, get in and out of the huddle, get the play off in the right way, make sure everyone's on the same page. So that's definitely a big emphasis this week, just at practice with the little things, the details of communicating and being on point, and that starts with the cadence. So it's going to be huge for us.
Along those lines, the headset went out for one play on Sunday, on a third down or something like that.
Yes, yeah.
So does that happen a lot? How do you handle it? What do you do in those situations?
I mean, it was really just a personnel issue that we had. We're trying to get the right amount of guys on the field, and obviously the play clock was going down, and so it just became one of those things where we got the play in a little late, and we just ran what I heard, but it wasn't the exact right play. But in the moment, that's just on us players. I feel like to be prepared and know what coach is trying to call, and those kind of things. I put that more on myself than anything, but. I think other than that, Kyle does a great job of getting the play in and everything operating pretty smoothly. But
Is that like the first time that's ever happened?
there was a couple other times, early in the year, but we got the play off in the right way. That was the first time we didn't get the play in and we ran the wrong play. So, it happens. It's part of the game, but we want to do our best to eliminate those kind of things from happening.